Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Tony Plays The Binding of Isaac. Hope everyone's doing good, everyone's chilling, going about their day nice and lovely. Today, we are playing who? I don't know. I forgot who we played last time, too, so. Gonna be honest with you, this one's a real doozy. A real doozy, dare I say, of what to do and what not. I don't know, it is what it is. Anyways, hope y'all are doing well. I'm chilling. Kind of just enjoying my day. Oh, Bethany! That's who it was, wasn't it? Let's try Bethany again. You know, hope you guys are enjoying your day. I'm doing solid. Worked out this morning, so I get to rest finally tomorrow. And just kind of relax, chillax. Although, what's the word I'm thinking of? I'm gonna be honest with you, although I do get to rest, and I am very much well aware that resting is very, very crucial for building muscle, as you gotta give your muscles time to recharge and re-energize and whatnot. It still feels weird to take the day off, you know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie to you, sometimes maybe it's just that like youngin' in me, but sometimes I get that little boost of energy where I'm like, man, I could work out today, but usually against my better judgment, I decide against it just because I know if I don't let my muscles rest, then they're really not gonna grow. You know what I mean? Or at least they're not gonna grow as well as they could. And I feel like this is definitely a big crucial part. I increase my risk of injury for what? You know what I mean? I increase the chance that I hurt myself for what is overall gonna be like a negligible gain if I just work out one extra time while they're like in a weakened state, rather than working them out and tearing those muscle fibers while I'm what's the word I'm thinking of? In the good, you know what I mean? While I'm rearing to go. So, you know, I'm fine now. And I'll probably wake up early tomorrow and want to work out, but you know, against my better judgment, I gotta decide what's good for me, you know? And what's good for me sounds like some extra rest. Which, speaking of, I am hoping to do so soon, although not after this episode actually, because after this Isaac episode, I will hopefully be attempting what is the most recent Monster Hunter Wilds new addition to the roster, being a Final Fantasy XIV collab. And my friend has been very excited about it. Two of my friends actually have been very excited about it. They've both been gassing it up, one as Final Fantasy fans, and two as, I'm gonna be honest with you, mechanically speaking, fans of Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm not gonna rest. I think it is a very good game, mechanically. However, it does have its downsides that I simply cannot get over. One of them being optimization, and this one is just Capcom as a whole, being their super, for some reason, anti-modding stance. Now, I don't know if it was that one incident. Sorry, I had to cough up. I don't know if it was that one incident at like a local tourney where they were playing Street Fighter 6 and this dude showed up with a nude Chun-Li mod, which is a real thing. It's so funny. But, you know, I don't know if it was that is what caused it, or if they've just in general always been like really anti-modding and only recently ramped it up. But, you know, me personally, I like modding my Capcom games to usually have A, quality of life things, or B, make the game run better, which I did have for Monster Hunter Wilds. I did have some mods installed to make the game run at a way better, you know, just more optimized due to some things, and I'm gonna also just make the game look good, because for some reason, I think I have mentioned this during the original episode where I modded Monster Hunter Wilds all those months back, but for some reason, Monster Hunter Wilds has this like this weird filter over it, this like lens that makes the game, I'm gonna be honest with you, look kind of really bad. Now, why do they have this? I don't know. I'm not Capcom. I don't make the decisions, nor can I speak for them and be like, oh, they're doing it to ruin your game. No, I don't know. All right, I'm real with you. Stylistically, there's probably a good reason why they wanted to add that weird lens look, but to me, it made everything look kind of ugly. And so there were mods to remove this one weird filter choice that made the game, in my opinion, pop way more and look a lot nicer. Now, unfortunately, this mod doesn't work any longer. Why? Because with the inclusion of Title Update 3, I believe RE Framework, which is the Reach for the Moon engine framework, every time I hear the words RE in relation to the framework, the engine, I'm always so ready to say the Resident Evil engine. However, I'm well aware that it is actually the Reach for the Moon engine and not Resident Evil. Although it was introduced in their first Resident Evil game in a while, which was 7, and for a decent amount of time from that point, it was only ever used as the engine in Resident Evil games. So it really had me thinking, okay, this is the RE engine, the Resident Evil engine. And no, it is the Reach for the Moon engine. Whatever, you know, I'm not here to argue semantics over what they call their engine internally. You know what I mean? Who cares? What I am here to yap about is the framework thing that usually allowed modders to get in and, you know, do things like change post-processing effects or whatnot with mods and all that jazz. Unfortunately, the framework with Title Update 3 just now causes your game to crash. I thought Monster Hunter Wilds was just a horribly optimized piece of shit, and I'm gonna be real with you, don't think I'm necessarily wrong still. However, the fact that when I tried to boot up the game and during the shader compile to only be met with, what's the word I'm thinking of? During shader compile only to be met with, uh-oh, game crash, no error or nothing, just pure, my game just shuts down, you know? Not even joking. It's not even like a real game crash as far as I'm concerned. It's like, there we go, baby. That was statistics. Statistics? Why did I say that? It was planned. That's what I meant to say. Oh crap. It reveals a room there. Does it work with this? Hold on. Does not. I tried it. I tried. Dumb to try. But I tried to see if I could potentially unlock that red room there. But you know, is what it is what it is. So, look, man. The fact that the game is still aside, it's just annoying to deal with, but I'm hoping to play the new, what's it called, man? Hold on. That's way better. Okay. My apologies. I just had to like mess with my stupid chair for a bit. I recently, I don't know why. These chairs are so cringe. I forgot if I mentioned this, but like a while back, my uncle had essentially just given to me a Herman Miller chair, which I was baffled about because, you know, it's fucking Herman Miller. And I'm not even gonna mention when I looked up the price how much it was. But, you know, I was very grateful. And in getting this chair, It's been my go-to for, you know, just playing games and all that. I wish I had a copy for my office so I can work comfortably, but it is what it is. I gotta deal with my old ass quote-unquote gaming chair, which don't even get me started on these whole gaming chair sort of deals. You know, what's the point? Why do they exist? But whatever, I'm not here to argue that. But with this chair that I was gifted, I have been using it, and I had it low-key kind of goated, you know what I mean? I had it like set perfectly for my everyday use. I just sit in this chair and I relax and I'm fine, I'm perfect. Then all of a sudden, I don't know, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, I, for some reason, am messing with the chair because I'm a dumbass. And I accidentally, I don't even know how you describe it. I don't know if you guys ever had one of these chairs where, like, usually some chairs have a thing at the bottom of them where if you adjust it a certain way, you can lock in like the kind of stiffness or how much lean the back of your chair gets you. And I decided, you know, I had everything set up nicely. I don't know why, my dumbass decided, let me fuck with this. And I ruined my chair. I accidentally like flipped it all the way to the bottom, and then I got up because it only like reactivates when you sit back down in the chair. I got up and sat down, and I'm not even joking, bro. I think it was... are you for real? I think I damn near fell out of my chair because it leaned back so far and I wasn't ready for it. That I was just so taken aback, I almost fell out of my chair for a sec. I was just like, oh no, what did I do, dude? I had this thing set perfect. So I'm gonna be real with y'all, alright? Past, what? 2 days? I've been trying to figure out a sweet spot. Have I found it? I'd like to think so. Just now, I'd like to think just now I found it, however, it's really gonna take sitting in it for like a few more days to be like, oh yeah, my body's used to this. But for the most part, right now, man, I'm gonna be so real with you. This freaking sucks. And I think what sucks even more to me personally is that, like, I'm aware how this works, you know what I mean? Like, I know how this chair goes. And it still just baffles me that the way you adjust this is not like the last chair I had. It was a thing under your seat where if you pulled it out, it like unlocked and it let your chair lean all the way back. Or if you pushed it in, your chair would have no lean whatsoever. It was just a perfectly sit up straight sort of deal. Now, this chair doesn't have this little like ridge you can turn, pull out, push in. It has like this weird lever, you know, like kind of like a light switch, you know what I mean? Like you flip it up, flip it down. It has this lever that you can manually adjust. I'm guessing because I just got it, you can manually adjust it to like sit the right way. So when you sit down, it leans slightly, but not too much, you know what I mean? It like perfectly conforms to how I want my chair to be. Just enough lean, but nothing too crazy. You picking up what I'm putting down here? Anyways. Now that I got this sorted, I'm hoping to no longer have to deal with any stupid ass issues with this damn chair. You know, because like I want to take care of this chair as much as humanly possible. You know what I mean? I need to make sure this chair gets passed on to like the next generation, because I cannot risk breaking a Herman Miller chair. I simply just don't make enough to justify that, bro. You know what I mean? I do not make enough to justify the purchase of a Herman Miller chair in any fucking circumstance. So the fact that I have magically found one in my possession I gotta be the world's most tedious man when it comes to this shit. That's all I'm trying to say here. So yeah, I've been kind of dealing with that weird issue. It's nothing crazy. I'll be real with you. It's only, I feel like this is only an issue on this chair. You know what I mean? Because like, having this might be a fucking, I don't even know how you describe what I'm about to say. You know what I mean? It's like, I'm not like a chair. Like, I don't know a lot about chairs is what I'm really trying to say here. I'm trying to struggle to find the words because like, what I'm going to say is stupid, but like, I don't be sitting in chairs like that. You know what I mean, bro? I grew up in a fucking public school where you had them rinky dinky ass plastic chairs, and the teachers had like, you know, like the nice rotating ones. And dude, anytime I had the chance to sit in those rotating chairs growing up, it was heaven, right? In an office chair, I guess that'd be the perfect thing. Anytime I had the opportunity to sit in an office chair, I was like, this shit is goated, you know what I mean, man? This shit is sick. Why did you blow up? What blew up? Ooh, this stupid ass bomb's rotten head or whatever. You're fucking with me, man. I would cherish every millisecond that I sat in one of those stupid ass office chairs, man. Granted, now that my job requires an office chair, I now realize, like, you're gonna find it crazy to say there's levels to this shit, you know what I mean? I now realize there are levels to this shit, bro. You can't just hop in any old office chair and be fine. Like, you're sitting in this hours on end. Which, you know what I mean, man? You gotta get that shit that's like good for you, like in the ergo sense. In like the ergonomics and whatnot. Because you don't want to be having back problems while you're 20 whatever. Dude, I remember having back problems, cause my first job used to be a warehouse job, actually. Used to work in a warehouse. And I only had the job for a few months because we ended up moving anyways. So I kind of just was like, well, I'm not gonna make that commute, so I just put in my 2 weeks and whatnot. Good people there. I feel like, honestly, I don't know how many of y'all have worked warehouse jobs. I hope not many, because they suck. But I feel like the coworkers at a warehouse job, you know, your associates, your colleagues, they always some of the just most chillest, low-key, just trying to get by people that you know. Or they are schizophrenic as all hell. There's no in between, you know what I mean? All of my coworkers at that place, not all of them, but a decent chunk of them were chill ass people, you know what I mean? Some real great peeps that if I wasn't so socially awkward, I would like hang out with them outside of work, you know what I mean? I'd be like, these are cool people. That kind of like if they had like a PlayStation, you know what I mean? I'd be like, bro, hop on the game, sort of deal. But then I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. In that break room of that warehouse, sometimes you just found. This is gonna sound mean to say, and I don't mean it in a mean way whatsoever. But when you were there, what is the word I'm thinking of? You find some of the most bottom of the barrel people, like, alive. Dare I say. And I'm not even playing, bruh. That's the crazy part, is that I'm like low-key not even playing. You will just find bottom of the barrel individuals working a warehouse job, which is crazy. Which is just crazy to me, man. You know what I mean? I don't even know, dude. I remember this one instance. I was sitting in the break room, man. I was just kind of chilling, you know? All right, my apologies. I looked it up, bro. This is a tweet that I've made in 2020 when I was working that job, and just overheard a coworker listening to a podcast talking about MK Ultra and 5G powers being linked to something. And bro, I'm not even joking. This coworker listening to that, he was like nodding along. He was being like, that's what I've been saying, you know? Agreeing with this. And I'm just like, nah, dude. I can't be working with these people. You know what I mean, man? That's not... You can't expect me to do that. You can't expect me to work with someone that's over here listening to like a podcast talking about 5G towers and MK Ultra trying to take over societies. You're like, nah. I'm sorry. I just can't. That's not my coworker anymore. That is someone who works at the same place I do. Tony, that's exactly what a coworker is. Nah. I can't even co-sign that. Even if it's the legit definition, I can't even co-sign that. In no way, shape, or form can I be associated with this individual. It's just crazy, right? Like, I'm not tripping, you know what I mean? You hear the fact that you work with someone talking about that, you're just like, damn right. That's just warehouse jobs. I'm gonna be real with you. Cause I don't think I've ever heard a coworker at my other jobs start going off about conspiracy theories and whatnot. It's something about that manual labor that like destroys the mind, dare I say. And I don't mean it makes you dumb. It just makes you tired. It makes you susceptible, bro, to just anything. And I think that's facts. I'm be real with you. I'm not to say, had I worked that job just a bit longer, I'd be in my coworker's shoes, but you know what I mean? I feel like doing a whole bunch of manual labor like that, multiple hours a day, like only having one day of the weekend off, and then having to go back Sunday to work, like that could suck the soul out of a human, bro. Manual labor, lifting heavy ass bags of fucking like dog food and shit. That will suck the soul out of a human. And so I don't blame them for losing his way. But I still don't agree, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't lose my way like that. It's just so funny, bro, you know? Seeing the deterioration happen live was just something that was so baffling to me. I thought that shit was the funniest thing on planet Earth, but also like, how do I work with these people? You know what I mean? That's just those kind of jobs. I'm gonna be real with you. But at least those jobs have you active. The sort of sitting at a desk all the time, sitting in your chair, that's where you need the ergo. You need them ergonomics to be top tier. Because at that point, you're just kind of wasting away. You know what I mean? I thought I had a chance. I thought I low-key had it there for a second. You know, dare I say, I'm not necessarily spitting here, although I like to think I am, but you know, that's not something you can really bless yourself with. Someone else has to tell you you're spitting in order for it to be real, you know? You can't just self-proclaim a lot of these things on life and whatnot, you know? You can't be like a self-proclaimed prophet or self-proclaimed spitter, you know what I mean? What am I saying? Spitting or something like that. You can't, like, someone's got to tell you that you be spitting facts, you know what I mean? I can't say that for myself. That's really what I'm trying to say. That's just bad, damn it. What's up? What are we doing? What are we doing here? What's up with the damage? Fuck this guy. I think I hate my life. I think I hate my life. Nah, I think I just suck at Isaac. I've been taking bad damage, man. You know what I mean? Like, this is unexcusable. Type shit. This is unexcusable. But who knows? Maybe it could be good. Perhaps, if we're lucky. Judgment. No, why would I go and grab that? Fuck this game. I think this game sucks. I think this might be the worst video game of all time. I don't actually believe that, but this game is very stupid. What do you want, bro? Blow up, man. I didn't drop it in dirt. Grow up. Grow up, bro. Don't remember that guy? What's up with my item descriptions? Am I tripping? I thought I turned this off. Am I losing it? What the hell? I don't know what's going on. Has Tony lost his mind in real time? I can hardly believe it when I heard the news today. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm just quote. Honestly, I don't even know the song. I just know the line because it's in a stupid like SpongeBob dying meme. Continuum, little bro? Is that what we doing here? Continuum, little bro? Huh? I'm sorry. Forgive me. Forgive me. I could hardly believe it. Oh my God, have mercy on my soul, man. The Binding of Isaac. It hurts. It hurts me. But you know what, bro? We just make do. We just make do and we kind of live on. Yeah, I don't know, man. Coworkers are weird. Not really. Last job. You know what, man? Nah. I don't know if I can make this broad statement. This might be slightly sexist, but I don't think coworkers are weird, bro. I think it's just that men are weird, you know? And I don't mean that in like no performative type of way. Because I'm being dead ass with you, bro. The only weird coworkers I've worked with a few women, I've worked with a few men. The only time a coworker has ever rubbed me the wrong way in any sort of sense is it was a dude spewing some fucking psycho shit, man. I've told the story before about that one coworker I had who, because of like at my job, all my coworkers were, as he would describe it, short Asian women, which is true. However, he made like a crazy remark over here talking about like, how did I get so lucky to be like, you know, to get all this shift with all the cute short Asian women to my coworkers, dog. And it's just like, you can't be saying that. You know what I mean? White baby, you can't be saying that. This like defies all form of workplace harassment training. You are harassing these women. What? You know what I mean, dude? I was so fucking baffled when I had the displeasure, bro. The unfortunate circumstance of working with him that shift because I heard that shit. It just had me like, nah. And that psycho person I was talking about the 5G waves and whatnot, also a guy. What can I say? You know what I mean? That one friend that's too woke. You think? Never mind. I'm not gonna. I'm not going down this route. It's just insane, you know? That's really all I'm trying to say. Is that it's just sometimes you be getting insane coworkers. Now, oh my god, and don't even get me started now. Alright? I don't know, whoever this coworker is, they're not insane, but every message that is ever sent to them, they respond back with ellipses, you know what I mean? You could reach out to this person, be like, hey, there's something for you here. They'll respond, okay, ... Thanks for letting me know, ... Appreciate it, ... And it's like, you know, it's not weird, nor is it that kind of like, oh, this is a bad human behavior, but it's just like, I guess it is a little weird, you know? It's just kind of like, why? You feel me? That's more so my question anytime I get the message. Is I'm just like, why are you typing like this? Did something happen? Question mark, you know? You good? Makes every message look like they're on the verge of, like losing their mind or something, you know what I mean? Like some dark disturbance happened to them. I don't know, you know? It's something funny that I noticed about one of my coworkers. And it's just crazy, you know? It's not even that crazy, truth be told. But it's just like, what's good, you know what I mean? I think to me, that's mainly what it is. To me, that's mainly what the dealio is. It's just kind of like, what's good, man? Why do I get all the weirdos? Which sounds mean to say, but I'm being genuine. Is that just every job ever? I've only ever had a few, so I don't fucking know. But is it just every job ever on planet Earth to at least work with one psycho / crazy or just, you know, unusual coworker? And you know what's crazy is I used to think if I ever worked at a job like that, I was always afraid people would talk about me like I was a weird coworker. You know what I mean? However, I think my reputation more so kind of goes into the assumption of I am the coworker you try and talk to and they never really hold a conversation back, but you will have some slight remarks with each other sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, you can't really hold a conversation with me because I'm bad at that, but I'll drop some little tidbits here and there, and I'll answer a question you have about me, kind of deal. You know? It's that coworker that you're aware exists, but you're not really sure what it is goes on behind the scenes, you know? And not in like a mysterious, cool way. More so in like a, this dude is kind of a loser way. You know what I mean? I feel like I got myself down to a science. I'm gonna be so dead ass with you. I feel like I got myself down to a science. You know? At 2? That's just kind of the way life is, bro. I hate this game so much. Don't make me go to the dark path, man. Delirium. Now, we are criminally under, what's the word? Not understaffed, you know what I mean? Like, we don't got a lot of good stuff going for this run. However, we will make it work. I know we can. I have a full card charged and ready for Delirium. You know, but yeah, I feel like that's how I am as a coworker, bro. You know, I would like to think, I would like to hope that I'm not the weird coworker in any sense. One, there's just like a negative connotation with being that, you know what I mean? No one wants to be the weird coworker because no one wants to talk to the weird coworker. But I honestly, completely, legitimately be honest with y'all, I am perfectly fine just being a background character at someone's job in their life. You know what I mean? If one of my coworkers wants to be the own MC of their story, that is fine by me. You know what I mean, bro? I will be the best goddamn background character I will be. I will, you know, talk to you if you talk to me. I won't really go out of my way to bring up something to you, and I will simply exist for content in that sense. You know what I mean? What's not to love, you know? Really, in that aspect, when you put it like that, what's not to love? Yeah, I don't know. Jobs are weird. Useful, and most of the time required for existing, but they're weird. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I don't want to die. I need to lock in twin. I need to lock in twin. No! Stupid game never giving me any hearts, man. I just took a lot of bad damage too. In trying to force the Hush fight, I took more damage than I should have by placing bombs. If I locked in and just... Hindsight's 2020. The only reason I took so much risk was because I was hoping to beat it in under the 30-minute time. But it is what it is. Anyways, I want to thank y'all for watching. If you guys did enjoy, greatly appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good day and or good night, depending on time reviewing this. And I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace out.